Everyone tells you to stop worrying. Think positive. Visualize success. Good vibes only. But what if they're completely wrong? What if worrying is not your enemy, but your secret weapon? What if the anxiety you feel before something important is the exact reason it goes well? Science has a surprising answer, and it goes against everything you've been told. You have an important presentation tomorrow, or a difficult conversation, or something that really matters to you. You spend the night running through every possible thing that could go wrong. You replay scenarios in your head. You prepare for disasters that probably won't happen. And then, the next day, it goes surprisingly well. Now think about a time you walked into something feeling completely relaxed. No preparation, no worry, no worst-case scenarios. And it fell apart in ways you never expected. Most people think this is just bad luck. It isn't. Your brain was doing something very specific and very intelligent. For 200,000 years, humans lived in environments where danger was everywhere. A rustle in the grass could be a predator. A stranger approaching could mean violence. The humans who assumed everything was fine died. The humans who imagined worst-case scenarios survived. They were ready. They had already played out the danger in their minds before it arrived. This is why your brain defaults to negative scenarios. It's not broken. It's not anxious disorder. It's a 200,000-year-old survival program running in a modern world. The brain that kept your ancestors alive is the same brain keeping you up at night before a job interview. It cannot tell the difference between a lion and a performance review. To your nervous system, both are life or death. In the 1980s, psychologist Julie Norem at Wellesley College discovered something that shocked the positive thinking industry. She identified a group of people she called defensive pessimists. These were high achievers, successful, capable, accomplished people who consistently expected the worst before important events. They would mentally rehearse every disaster scenario, every embarrassing moment, every possible failure, and then they would perform brilliantly. Norem ran experiment after experiment. She found that when she tried to make defensive pessimists think positively before a task, their performance got worse. Telling them to relax and visualize success actually sabotaged them, because their worry wasn't irrational anxiety. It was fuel. It was preparation. It was their brain running simulations so that when the real moment came, they had already survived it 100 times in their mind. There's another layer to this. In the 1990s, psychologist Gary Klein developed a technique used today by NASA, the U.S. military, and major corporations. He called it the premortem. Before starting any important project, teams are asked to imagine it has already failed completely. Then they work backwards. What went wrong? How did it happen? What did we miss? This sounds like pure negativity, but the results were extraordinary. Teams that ran premortems made significantly fewer catastrophic mistakes because they had already seen the disaster in their minds. They had already closed the loop on every possible failure. Your brain does this naturally when you worry. It's running its own premortem. Every scary scenario you imagine is your mind trying to find the exit before the fire starts. But here's where it gets psychologically fascinating. Many people report something even stranger. Not just that worrying helps them prepare, but that imagining a catastrophe somehow prevents it from happening. Like a mental shield. If I thought about the car crash, it won't happen. If I imagine losing the job, I won't lose it. Psychologists call this magical thinking. And while it has no scientific basis as actual protection, it serves a very real psychological function. It creates an illusion of control over an uncontrollable world. And that illusion reduces anxiety enough to let you function. Your brain knows it cannot control everything. So it invents a ritual, a mental habit that says, if I prepare for the worst cannot surprise me. It's not logical, but it's deeply human. And it works not because it changes reality, but because it changes you. So how do you use this without drowning in anxiety? First, let yourself worry, but set a time limit. Give yourself 20 minutes to imagine every worst-case scenario. Write them down. Then close the notebook. Your brain got its premortem. Now let it work. Second, after imagining the worst, ask yourself one question. What is the one thing I can do right now to make this less likely? Just one. That transforms anxiety from a spiral into a plan. Third, notice the difference between productive worry and toxic rumination. Productive worry finds solutions. Toxic rumination just replays the same fear on a loop without moving forward. If you've been thinking about the same fear for an hour without a single new thought, that's not preparation. That's a stuck record. Change the input. The world will keep telling you to think positive, to manifest, to visualize success. And sometimes that works, but for millions of people, the ones who lie awake running scenarios, who prepare obsessively, who imagine disasters before they happen, that advice has always felt wrong. Because it is wrong. For you, your worry is not weakness. It never was. It's 200,000 years of survival intelligence trying to keep you safe in a world that moves too fast for it to understand. The question isn't how to stop worrying. The question is how to worry smarter. If this changed how you see yourself, subscribe. Because next week we go even deeper into the hidden psychology that runs your life without your permission.